I've actually felt a longing to talk about all kinds of things all throughout 2025, but I never really got around to doing it because I needed to sort out myself first. As the snow falls down and the world turns quiet, the longing for my soul to do the same grows. My soul feels in alignment with the new world that I'm in, and it made me think about what it means to live a life more connected to nature, the seasons, and right now, winter. A trip to the Netherlands led us to IKEA because we were in need of some storage solutions for a little apartment that my son was moving into. And going to IKEA made me realize that my longing for quiet came together with a longing to be organized. My God. Okay, so this is it, the little apartment. It is definitely small, but also perfect for a 24-year-old man that I'm very proud of. Now, I actually had quite a lot of fun with putting all of these pieces of IKEA furniture together, because even though I'm usually someone who likes buying everything secondhand, I do have an appreciation for IKEA and especially for the storage solutions that IKEA has to offer. Because I do think that there is a time and a place for some of these things. And this means that I have actually been doing some shopping of my own for the house that we have just moved into in Sweden. Because if there is one place that is in desperate need of some organization, it is the abandoned school that we bought. Wow. For now, though, we are here in the concrete world called Amsterdam, And just spending time here made me realize how thankful I am for the beautiful property that we bought in the middle of the Swedish forest, because it truly feels like a home, unlike how it feels to be back in the Netherlands, because I feel lost and out of place and exhausted, yet happy because I got to spend time with my son. I can't wait to go back though to my new home and all of the projects that I feel so excited about. And getting organized is definitely going to be a joy, because winter is all about shifting the focus inwards. And it feels nice to shift the focus to creating something that feels nice on the inside of the house. And the same for turning inwards emotionally. It feels nice to sort out what's in my mind and what's in my heart. And this is hopefully going to prepare us for when spring comes around, because spring and summer are going to be extremely busy. Because the renovation project that we are planning to start is going to be really big. And right now we need to prepare. We need to prepare, we need to organize, we need to sort, and we also need to rest. The year 2025 for us was definitely the year of change, because we changed houses, countries, and both my husband and I went on a quest and a journey towards self-love that was mainly about learning and creating awareness. In the last couple of months, though, it has turned into something a little bit more practical. And I actually do believe that the year 2026 is going to be the year wherein I am going to shift from learning all about self-love to learning all about self-care. And I'm really excited about organizing my life in a little bit of a better way when it comes to self-care too. Okay, so now I am making a mental list of all of the little projects that I want to start working on, and finishing the corner that I have over here behind me is on the top of the list, and especially finishing the paint job underneath the window, because I really want to put the radiator back that I'm sitting on right now, so that I can put the chair here that I bought in the store that I felt so excited about. And this is going to allow me to sit down, which I need to do because there are some things that I really want to start talking about. I've actually felt a longing to talk about all kinds of things all throughout 2025, but I never really got around to doing it because I needed to sort out myself first. Right now, though, to me it feels like I have been doing that enough, which by no means means that I am done with learning about all kinds of things. Because I think, and especially when it comes to learning about self-love, I'm never going to be done with learning about all kinds of things. Right now, though, to me it feels like for the first time in my life, I am someone who's trustworthy. And with this, I'm actually talking about that I'm slowly starting to trust myself when it comes to self-care and being able to advocate for myself. Because if there's one thing that you do lose when you have a lack of self-love, even if it is just a little bit, it is actually your voice. And this is actually really interesting because I don't think that I come across as someone who has no voice. And I do think that most people assume that I am someone who talks very easily about all kinds of things. And I do think that this is true for some things. But when it comes to the things that really matter, I do really struggle, or at least I have struggled a lot with advocating for myself and with speaking out on my own behalf. And this has caused a lot of issues. And I actually do think that it is impossible to do self-care when you have a lack of self-love in a way that is necessary. Right now, though, I'm slowly starting to trust myself because I'm actually doing the necessary things. And, when it comes to trust, it is something that you need to build. And this is how it works when it comes to trusting other people and when it comes to other people trusting you. But when it comes to trusting yourself, it's the same thing. And you need to establish the trust first. And I never did the necessary things to be able to do that. Right now, though, I am actually advocating for myself in a way that I've never done before. And the changes are instant and really big. And also, I'm not going to lie, a little bit terrifying because I sometimes do not recognize the person that I'm turning into. And I do have to say that I'm extremely proud, but I also feel uncomfortable because and this is just making me a little bit emotional. I need to say goodbye to the old me. And even though the old me was so broken, although I don't think that I was as broken as I thought I was. But that's how I felt for the longest time. I felt like there was something broken in me. And I do not feel like that anymore. I am going to miss the old me. And not because the old me was doing me any favors, but just because the old me was there for such a long time. And the old me has kept me afloat throughout some really, really difficult times. And it wasn't because I was capable of self-care, but it was because I was capable of crisis management really, really well. Because that's something that I knew how to do. Right now, though, I'm in the phase of my life wherein I'm safe. I'm safe. I'm at home. I feel at ease in my new life. And I think it is time to settle down And that means saying goodbye to the old me and embracing a new version of myself that I don't really know all that well. And it is remarkable and beautiful and amazing and extraordinarily exciting, but it's also a lot. My YouTube channel is always going to be focused on doing DIY jobs, on creating beautiful spaces, and on, from now on, moving forwards, building a new life and on creating a beautiful home, and also on embracing a different lifestyle and a slower pace of life. And self-care and self-love are going to be a really important part of that. I also do want to create a legacy. And the motivation behind sharing some more of the personal things is definitely the fact that I'm a grandmother of two beautiful little souls that I am not going to see grow up. I still do have a responsibility as a grandmother though, and I strongly believe that the role of a grandmother in the family is the most important role to have, actually, because it is all about sharing your wisdom. Now, I am still a very young grandmother because I became a mother at a very young age. And right now, I don't feel like I'm ready to just share my wisdom because I'm still in the middle of learning all kinds of lessons. And the only thing for me to do right now is just to share the entire process of gathering the wisdom that I'm hopefully going to have by the time that I'm old. And maybe my grandchildren are going to come back into my life. And I do actually have a very strong feeling that they will, although I'm obviously never going to be sure about that. My grandchildren might stumble upon my YouTube channel one day. And when they do, I want them to be able to get to know the real me. And this is a very big motivation for me. And the reason behind the decision to start sharing some very personal things. So this is not going to be about me just creating entertainment. This is actually going to be about me creating my legacy. And this is going to be about me creating what I want to leave behind. Because I do want to live a life that has a purpose. And to me, it feels like this is it. To me, it truly feels like this is what I need to do. So I do feel like my YouTube channel is a part of my goal in life. And I want to share my life lessons. And I really want to try to do it with joy. And I am starting to feel the joy because I'm starting to pick the fruits of my labor. And I've been working really hard, and I only shared a fraction of all of the things that I've sorted in the last year. So I do want to dive into all kinds of things. And I need a chair. Anyway, besides all of these things that I just talked about, I also really want to create beautiful spaces. And the spaces that I want to start focusing on are the barn, because we started painting and now we need to finish it. Okay, let there be lights. Wow. I've just started to paint the second coat of paint on a wall that we have over there. And this, by the way, is a part of our barn that is still usable, which is not the case for the entire barn, because the other side of the barn is currently suffering from a collapsing roof. Anyway, over here we are going to be able to create a workspace, and this is going to be really important because we are going to start renovating, and right now all of the things that we need for that are still packed into boxes. And when we started packing the wood shop that all of these things came out of in the Netherlands, we were on a ridiculous time crunch because of all kinds of circumstances that we didn't see coming. So that meant that we packed the entire wood shop in the last week of us being there. Painting the wall is something that I convinced Rogier into doing because I do think that it is really important to create an environment to work in that feels nice. Right now I am going to finish the second coat of paint, and this, by the way, is a special primer that I bought that I've used in my classroom, and it just works really well because it also prevents the wood from staining the paint. And this is really nice because we are using a water-based paint, and wood tends to just stain a paint like that.
Who are you talking to?
I am talking to my secret lover.
Oh, that's good.
Yes. Oh, and by the way, Rogier is doing some crisis management in the little area in the barn that we have over there, because there were some problems with the electricity, and because of those problems we are now without running water in the house, because the system that was heating the garden hose that brings the water into the house from the well has now frozen. Ik ga even hier trekken, want het gaat makkelijker.
Is het minder erg dan ik dacht?
Schat, het is altijd minder erg. Dat je denkt, je bent gewoon een klein beetje een drama queen.
Moi?
Ja! Doom and gloom. Your middle name is Doom and Gloom. Oh, dat kan niet, dat gaat niet. Dat is te moeilijk, dat past niet.
Talk to the hand.
Talk to the hand. Talk to my hand. Okay. Now the entire situation with electricity is really complicated because people have been adding to it and adding to it and adding to it over the course of many years. Some of these people didn't really know what they were doing, and they created a system that is extremely complicated, and just trying to figure out how it is all put together is going to take... How long do you think it is going to take to figure out how the entire situation with the electricity has been put together? Like where everything comes from, where everything goes, how everything is connected.
That's a 10-year plan.
So it's not just a matter of just pulling everything out and starting over, although that would be the safest thing to do. Because we are living here, it's in the middle of winter, it's freezing outside. So we are just trying to manage everything. And over there, with the heating system that is heating the garden hose, it didn't go so well. So now this is something that we are going to turn into something that is going to be safe. And by the way, a lot of these problems are hidden problems that you don't see and you also don't notice until something goes wrong. So this is not Rogier being a bad electrician, because he's excellent when it comes to sorting out all kinds of electrical things. But there are just things that we don't know until there's something wrong. We actually found an electrocuted bird in one of the 6 fuse boxes that we have the other day. I also do really think that we need to add smoke detectors. And we do actually have the, how do you call that in English? Fire extinguishers. If I'm saying this correctly, they are everywhere. There are obviously going to be all kinds of projects that I want to start working on, and right now I want to start focusing on finishing my classroom, although this is not going to be a priority. So I'm probably just going to work on it in between all kinds of other things, just a little bit here and a little bit there, because there are some things that are more important, and creating a guest room upstairs in the attic is definitely one of those things. The guest room is something that I want to start working on because it needs to be finished in spring, or by the time spring comes around actually, because there are people that want to come over, and right now We don't have a place for them to be in that feels nice. And the little room upstairs is going to be perfect because it is going to be easy to heat and it is going to be really cozy and it is not all that big, so it is not going to be all that much work to finish it, although the project just got a little bit bigger because Rogier came up with the idea, why am I talking Dutch all of a sudden? The idea of taking the ceiling out. My God, you guys, my brain. And I haven't slept all night because I have actually started editing some of the footage that I filmed at the farmhouse, which has been a long time coming. My God. I haven't felt ready to edit anything yet because I needed to deal with all of the emotions first. And you guys, the amount of stress that we've had in those months, it was just out of this world. And it just took me a while to settle down. Anyway, I've made a start with editing some of the footage. And I will add the footage to some of the videos that are going to come up very soon. I haven't slept all night because there are just so many thoughts and feelings that still come up when I see all of the projects that I worked on in the last couple of months of us being there. And especially also because in those days, I was the old me. It is confronting to see how much I struggled with just the simplest things when it came to self-care and especially when it came to emotionally taking care of my needs. We are going to talk about all of the footage that I filmed at the farmhouse later. For now, I want to stick to just being here for a little bit because we just came back from a trip to Amsterdam. And this also came with a whole array of emotions and all kinds of realizations. So the start of the new year has been it has been a rough one, but in a really beautiful and marvelous way. Besides the guest room that I want to create, I also want to start working on creating a storage solution in a cupboard that we have next to the little entryway that we actually do use the most. And this was a little entryway that got a makeover a while ago. We never completely finished it though, and there are also some little things that I do want to change because I never liked the paint color on the door frame and on the floor. And then the cupboard that we have next to the little hallway is going to be turned into a toilet somewhere in the future, but this is not going to be happening anytime soon. So for now, we are actually using it as a storage space and it is not working for me. So there are things that I want to change and I also want to make it look beautiful. And there are a lot of things that we bought at IKEA that I need to show you. And then we are going to use all of these things on the inside of the cupboard. And then it is hopefully going to transform into something very practical that also looks really beautiful. And we need to sort out all of the windows because I do think that it would be nice to be able to keep the house a little bit warmer. Because in the last couple of days, you guys, it has been really cold. When we bought the school, all of these windows were here. And we do believe that some of these windows were meant to go into some of the spaces that we have in the school. And so now the question is, are we right about this? And are we going to be able to fit the windows in? Because this would really help with keeping the heat in. So far, we have sorted about 2/3 of all of the windows that are here. And we have only managed to locate some of the windows that need to go into Rogier's classroom. So some of the double windows that need to go into the house are actually here. We haven't seen any of the other windows for all of the other spaces yet though. So right now we are hopeful about that the windows are going to be there. Right now the plan is to sort out all of the old windows and all of the old doors and some of the other building materials out on the porch. And then we are going to empty out a space that we have that in the past was used for gymnastics. And the plan is to organize everything well so that it is going to be really easy to see what we have whenever we need something for a project. Soort van. Of moet het hier? Wat is het verschil? Nee. All of the windows here, except for a couple of the windows that belong to your classroom, are just here because of God knows why. We just don't know. I mean, this is amazing to have because there are hundreds of projects that we are going to be able to do with all of this. So I'm excited. And I also feel like a very rich person right now because we have all of this. And I can't wait to start building beautiful things with all of these windows. So to be continued. And I'm also going to prepare a thrift haul and an IKEA haul. And that's something that I've never done before. So I'm actually excited about just doing something a little bit different. And also because I found all kinds of things for all of the spaces that I just talked about. Because we found things for the barn. We found some things for the guest room. We have found some things for the cupboard. And I also found some things for the space that we are in right now. And I do feel excited about finishing my classroom. Because I absolutely love how the space is starting to feel. Anyway, the rug over here is probably going to end up in a little room upstairs in the attic that we are going to turn into a guest room. And right now, I do want to take it upstairs just to see if this is going to fit. And that means that I'm also going to film how the little room looks right now, because I do want to show you the before. So all of these things are going to be added to the next video. And I really hope to see you next week, actually, because I am planning to try to go back to uploading every single week. And I truly hope that I'm going to be able to do that, because it's a lot. But I'm going to try. So, until the next one, and thank you so much for being here, and Happy New Year!